Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and tonight we are playing BECMI, Keep On The Borderlands. If this is something you guys like seeing, make sure you give us a like. We will be sure to notice that. Bill from Roll Stats does come back and check the comments every now and then, so he will see your comments as well. And if he doesn't, and I see something interesting, I'm going to say, hey, go check that out. So again, leave us comments about this and all that good stuff. So with that, Bill, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Juice. I'm excited. I'm so excited. The remnants have actually made it to the Caves of Chaos. This is what we've been waiting for. It's dying time. I can smell the fear. So let's introduce everybody before we get started. Why don't we start with you, Juice, since it's your channel?
I am Juice. I am playing the toughest character here, Sloppy Sherman Woods. Sherman has the strongest hit points of the whole party. A strong 2. He is really good with the bow. He's a marksman. He is also somebody who shoots first and asks questions later. So again, it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited, and yeah, let's roll some dice tonight.
Paula?
I am Paula. Tonight I am playing Rosalind Freebooter Dread. She is a master at pretty much nothing. But she likes to hide and hit things with her axe. So, I mean, yeah, that's about it. Oh, I am also playing our newly beloved cleric, Aaron Thaddeus, who has come to us in the hopes of essentially atoning for the guilt that he has over the loss of his cousin. Yes? Cousin.
Well, it was sister, but you
sister.
Can change it to cousin.
Okay,
yes,
sister.
Certainly.
Yeah, nope, his sister. And hopefully he will be useful. We will see. I don't know.
Poor Astrid. We all miss Astrid.
So
that's over to you, Drake.
All right, I'll be playing LBJ, who's now being guided by the ghost, or is it really Astrid who is following him now because he has heard her in the wind? And the de facto leader of this group.
And finally, Draven.
Hello, my name is Draven, or Dave, I guess. I'm playing Ethan, an aspiring paladin whose association with this group might be jeopardizing that aspiration. But it's been interesting so far, and I'm interested to see how the caves go.
I am super interested in seeing how the caves go too. I'm trying really hard to fight it, but the evil DM in me is really coming out strong tonight. So we'll see what happens. I am Bill at Roll Stats. I don't really have anything going on other than I published a blog on my site, rollstats.com, which really is sort of a review and retrospective of this particular module. So if you are interested in this module or how I run this, so players not allowed, but anyone else, you can go and see how I run this module there, rollstats.com. Go check it out. Other than that, I'm here killing players. So with that, why don't we get started? Everybody settle in. You're gonna forgive my sort of rambly intro that I seem to always do, but I really love these, and so you're just gonna let me do it, right? So
we love them too, just so you know.
So we begin tonight's session as a flock of ravens alight from a small outcrop of twisted and misshapen spruce, winging their way eastward across the dark chasm below. Warily traversing the expanse that appears to be more of a festering and fetid wound upon the crust of the world than a natural occurrence, the raven's senses become heightened. As the very essence of evil that permeates the scar begins to envelop them, their instincts take over. Their vision becomes clearer. Their sense of smell is increased until as if of one mind they begin to pump their wings furiously in unison. Harder and harder they churn in a vain attempt to escape the grasping and growing sense of fear that has engulfed them. The dark, streaked rock below them mingles with the earth, creating an ugly, unnatural scar. Clumps of trees grow here and there, both on the floor of the ravine and up the sloping walls of the canyon. And there, At varying heights on all sides of the ravine, which sinks 100 feet or so into the earth and running at least 400 feet east to west, are the yawning black mouths of cave-like openings in the rock walls. The beat of the raven's wings and their cries of terror rise, echoing, magnified by the terrain to sound loud and horrible, creating a symphony of fear and loathing that rises up from the stench of death, of decay, of despair. As eyes, unnatural, unholy eyes, glowing of red and yellow and green, track their progress from the gaping cave mouths of the chasm across the sky, hungrily. Spurred on by this horrific display, the ravens wing even harder, desperate to flee this scar upon the land that swells and throbs with the very essence of evil. They reach the easternmost edge of the ravine just as a group of adventurers burst forth from the dense and tangled forest. The remnants of a better time, a better place, a better life. And though they have lost dear friends along the way, poor Emerald and dearest Astrid, though they have been beaten, bruised, and broken, though the road has been long and the journey fraught with peril, they remain steadfast and true to their word. The remnants of a promise given, the remnants of a vow taken, the remnants of a world worth saving. And the raven screeching intensifies, culminating in a crescendo of terror and a cry of warning as they fly overhead. The sunlight is dim, the air dank, the atmosphere oppressive, as the remnants gaze upon their final destination, their destiny, their fate, the caves of chaos. Let's roll some dice, people. What do you do?
So what's it look like? What we see just a bunch of caves?
So you've come out of this dense forest. You followed the path of these dog-like creatures, this pack of dog-like half dog, half man creatures along this path where you came upon this clearing. The trees began to sort of wither and die out. You come out into this clearing on what is the eastern side of this ravine that runs about 400 feet to the west with a sheer cliff wall. At the western end, it kind of opens up like a wide mouth on the eastern end where you're standing. And it's barren with the exception of there's some outcroppings of like brush and trees. And you can see cave mouths that run along the walls at varying heights, up this sort of sheer cliff face. And then the floor, or the valley of the ravine, the floor bottom, is again sort of it's sparse. There's some misshapen trees, twisted, a few brush outcroppings, but it seems oddly and unnaturally barren, almost more of a strip mine than an actual natural occurrence. Also, no sign of the dog-like creatures that you essentially were going after, and you also know you don't hear that horn sounding that you had. It's actually eerily quiet, with the exception of this flock of ravens that just flew over your head, sort of screeching and crying.
So Raz was not here in the beginning when everybody set off for the caves. So as we kind of, burst out of the tree line and see all of these caves riddled around, she's going to look over at the other members of the group and say, okay, so which cave is it?
Isn't it called the Caves of Chaos?
Well, I figured you guys know where you're going, right?
I mean, we should trust our leader to lead us into the correct cave, shouldn't we? LBJ, what do you say? Which cave looks like the most suspicious one?
All of them.
We can't go into all of them at once.
Well, we better pick one then.
Which one? Do you want to start like left to right, right to left, just right in the middle?
I ain't much of walking long distance. Just pick closest one.
I mean, I read left to right. It seems like that's the most logical.
Must be nice to read.
Sorry.
I mean, left's as good as the right one. What do you say, Rosalind Freebooter?
I mean, that's fine. Why don't we try and listen at the entrance of the caves for the creatures?
Okay. You do that, and I will. I have your back.
Okay. So Raz is gonna try and quietly sort of like sneak up to the first cave. And try and see if she can, as she's getting closer to these caves, she can hear some noises coming from anywhere, or what the deal is.
Yep. So here's the thing, though. I guess when you say first cave, right? There are. I guess what I'm saying is, and let me sort of lay it out for you better, right? Like, you have what is patently obvious. There is a cave. So you're facing west, the western end of the ravine. Off to your right, kind of at ground level, is a cave opening. It looks to be about, you're going to guess 30 to 40 yards, sort of to the north, right? And that would be, I guess what I'm saying is that would be the closest one to your left.
That's it.
So to your left or to the south, and a little bit further east, so southeast, about 60 to 75 yards is another cave entrance at ground level, and then there are multiple. You can see along the cave walls, the ravine walls. You can see that there are other caves at varying heights along the ravine, but the only two visible caves, the only two caves that you can see at ground level are these two particular.
Are just the two? Okay, so I'll sneak up to the one that's closest then and listen there. And then if I don't hear anything, I'll probably head over to the next one.
Okay. So Raz is heading, like you guys see Raz begin to head off towards the south, towards the northeast. What is everyone else doing?
I'll follow like 15 feet behind her, with an arrow, not knocked, but in hand. Okay.
LBJ, what are you doing?
I'm listening for Astrid's voice. She might know which cave to go into.
And Ethan?
I'll probably just go up alongside of Sherman's character.
Okay, so as Raz, as you're approaching the cave that is to the north, northwest, you make it about halfway there, and you see these dog-like creatures that you were following begin sort of leaping down from the trees that are this small sort of copse of trees that's next to the cave. They are and you would once again hear the horn begin to blow as they are sort of gnashing and rushing at you with spears drawn. So I need we're into initiative order already, people.
Jeez.
Gonna get us
That was
killed.
fast. All right, that's a 6.
Okay. So you guys are going to act first. You see, Jesus Christ. You see 8 of these dog-like creatures drop down from the tree. They are, just so you know, Raz, they are in melee distance with you at this point. Only you. You're kind of you're in harm's way at this point.
Okay, so Raz is going to run away. She's gonna run back.
I have never been more proud of Roz.
Oh, she's gonna run back to where the rest of the group is. She is extremely valuable as a ranged fighter. Up close with her super strong 3 hit points. She's not feeling so hot though. So she's definitely gonna take off back to where the rest of the group is.
Okay, so you turn and run. Sloppy, what are you doing?
Does she run like past me?
I don't know. Roz, where are you running to?
I'm just running back to where where we initially emerged from the woods. I assume a couple people were still staying back there.
Yep.
I know that Aaron was back there too.
Right. So I guess what I'm asking is, are you running back to the party, or are you running past them and running, away? I guess is what I'm asking.
I'll run, to the back of the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sloppy?
I mean, I can't have her behind me. I got to do the same thing. Okay, I'm not going to run back. I'm going to step behind Ethan, and I'm going to shoot an arrow.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Give me an attack roll.
Ooh, all right. Oh yeah, 18 on the die. That's definitely going to do it.
Yeah, that's clear. That is most definitely a hit.
I don't even know. Short bow. Oh. 1.
Okay, so
maybe I hit it in the ear.
So you basically you jump back behind Ethan quickly and fire off a shot, almost hitting Ethan, which kind of threw you off a little bit. Ethan, through no fault of your own, Ethan got in the way of your shot, blocked it kind of. And so you fire off, it does actually manage to catch one of these dog-like creatures. You can hear it yip. But it basically just grabs the arrow as it strikes and just pulls it out and gnashes its teeth at you. And is anybody else doing missile attack, or are we just doing movement?
So for movement, since Sherman fired, I'm going to move up, and because we're only 15 feet behind Roz.
Correct.
So I'll just move up and get into melee with the closest one.
Got it. Okay, so there are 8 of them. One which one on the front line, which was struck. One on the front line which was struck, but there's basically a line of them, and they are rushing. They're charging at this point.
Yeah, no, but I gotta cover them. My job is the party speed bump.
Totally get it. I guess I'm asking, are you going after the one that was already struck, or are you going after another? Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'll go after that one to maximize my chances of dropping one.
Okay.
Do I make my attack now, or is anyone doing it?
I'm waiting for your attack roll. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought someone else might be using a ranged weapon. That's all.
Nope.
Okay. That is a natural 1. So that's a good start.
Yeah, that is. So,
you
the
guys
arrow
are on fire.
Sloppy's arrow flying.
I will be in a second.
Sloppy's arrow flying past your ear really kind of threw you off. You sort of jerk your head over your shoulder to look at him and be like, what the hell? And you turn back to attack one of the dog-like creatures that's attacking you, and you end up missing horribly. So that brings us to either Aaron or LBJ. Again, I don't know if you guys are moving, or if you are I don't know if you're moving or if you're attacking. What are you guys doing?
Running.
Okay.
So you can definitely tell that Aaron is hesitating for a moment, but then he does at the last second kind of step forward a little bit, and he will swing at the same kobold that was already hit by the arrow. What? I mean, the dog-like creature that
Yes.
has not been named.
Exactly.
That will
yes.
not be named.
Yes.
And although he tried, it's almost like his reservation of stepping forward prohibited him from a full swing, and he absolutely missed.
Oh man, this is not going to go well. Okay, so that brings us to you, LBJ. What are you going to do, buddy?
I'm running.
Okay. So what exactly, where are you going? So in my mind, I know where everybody is.
So if there is no brush or shrubs or trees or anything to hide behind, I will just run like the way we came in.
Yeah, you can make it back to the path, back to the sort of the dense wood, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Run and then hide there.
Okay. All right. So that brings us back to the top of the order. We're going to roll for initiative. We're going to see what happens. Here's what I'm going to say. Damn it. See, I want to give them a turn, right? But I also want to roll for initiative and just say if they win initiative, they're going to get the attack. If they don't win the initiative, then you guys can make a decision on what to do. But I feel like that would be cheating you in other words, they should get a turn, right? Well, we rolled initiative. So they're gonna
just attack Bill.
Yeah, they're gonna rush forward and attack.
Bill, play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah, I know.
Don't pull punches.
Just play, because we're gonna win initiative. We're just gonna keep winning initiative.
All right.
That's what happened last time.
It's in the bag.
Okay.
I'm committing my magic user to paper, so I'll be ready.
Yeah, because I guess what I'm saying is, right, the only two, basically, it's Ethan, right? And then they could realistically, they could get an attack on Sloppy, and they can get an attack on Aaron. They can certainly get an attack on Aaron, but they might be able to get an attack on Roz as well. The only person right now who is safe is LBJ, right? That's where we're at. Oh man, it's gonna be tense. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this.
I got my dice. I'm ready for my backup character.
All right, Ethan, that's 1. Ethan, that's 2. Aaron, that's 1. I gotta mark this. Sorry.
I have armor class 2. I don't know if that helps or not, but
well, no, I'm just trying to see how many attacks everybody is getting, right? So Sloppy, that's 1. Aaron, that's 2. Roz, that's 1. Ethan, that's 3. Roz,
And this
that's
is
2.
this is how Peter will solidify his position as leader of the party.
Yes.
Is that he will be the only one.
yeah, he will be the party.
So so basically this is how this is coming out. 3 of these dog-like creatures, sort of snarling, yapping, yipping, glowing yellow eyes, surround Ethan. So you basically, they're surrounding you. 2 of them are confronting Aaron. They've come forward and confronted Aaron. 2 of them are coming forward and confronting Roz, and 1 of them is basically going after who appears to be the weakest, member of the party, which is Sloppy. So
I'm in
here's
plate mail.
so here we go. So what is your AC? Ethan?
2. Armor class 2.
Okay.
Plate armor and a shield.
It is just a miss. That is just a miss. 3rd attack. That is a hit. And so 2 of the dog-like creatures go to like, basically converge on you, and they end up tripping over themselves because you're able to duck back. But as you duck back, you're basically jumping into the third one that was surrounding you, and he sort of plunges his spear into you, and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay, I have 4 left. I'm good.
Okay, and then let's go to Aaron. What is Aaron's AC?
A 4.
Okay, so that's a miss. That is a hit. So the two dog, the sort of yipping, snarling, glowing yellow-eyed dog creatures attacking Aaron. One of them jumps forward, and as Aaron steps back, he actually steps back into the spear point of another one of these creatures that was attacking him, taking 3 points of damage. And now this is you, Sloppy. What's your AC there, buddy?
AC 1.
Okay, so the dog-like creature that goes after you is kind of, he's distracted by the howl of his he's distracted by the howl of his compatriots as they go to attack Aaron, and he lunges forward but misses, gnashing his teeth at you. Roz, here you go. You have 2 of these creatures attacking you.
Yep.
What is your AC?
Well. 4.
Okay, so both of the dog-like creatures that are attacking you are also somewhat distracted. They go to lunge forward with their spears and end up crossing spears at the same time, and so the spears sort of like cross like this.
Hey, babe.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, hang on one sec, guys. Keep playing without me for a second.
Okay. I hope
You're
she's okay.
Do you want to mute yourself?
I hope she's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, the spears sort of cross, and they end up, both missing. They impeded each other's progress in terms of hitting you. That will bring us to the top of the order, and we need an initiative roll.
Okay, that is a 6.
Okay, you just have the grade. Are you rolling a d20 on your initiative every time?
No, I rolled a 4. I get a +2. What do you want me to do? I had actually accidentally rolled earlier when you were talking about should they attack or should they not attack, and I rolled a 5, so it would have been a 7. So
nice. Okay, so it is your action at this point.
Well,
so let me just reset the scene for you, right? There are 2. Okay, at this point, you guys, you already kind of metagamed it and called it. So there are 2 kobolds in front of you that are gnashing and sort of and looking like they really want to eat your face, right? There are 2 in front of Aaron that one of them which actually struck home. There are 3 surrounding Ethan, and there is 1 on Sloppy. LBJ is nowhere to be seen.
well, I mean, Aaron doesn't have much of a choice, but he is going to attack back with his mace. And I think Raz is going to have to take out her axe and try and hit these ones on her. So
correct, because they're okay. So just so we're clear, there is no attack of opportunity in
so
rule
she
set.
could run
However, they get an attack, is what I'm saying. So they're not going to get 2 attacks,
okay.
but they would get. In other words, if you were to turn to run, you're engaged in combat. They would get their turn to attack you. So yeah.
Yeah, she might as well just go for it then.
Okay.
Right?
I like your moxie, kid. Go for it.
That's armor class 0.
That is for sure a hit.
So that is 3 points of damage as she swings her axe at one of these kobolds.
Okay, tell me what that looks like. The kobold drops.
So Roz was obviously running away as these things started to attack her. So she knew in her heart that she couldn't let her friends down and leave these guys with them. So at the last second, she kind of grabs her axe and swings wildly, and somehow is able to really make contact, almost she feels like by accident, with one of these creatures, and just slices it right across the front.
Nice.
And it falls lifelessly to the ground.
Nice. Okay, so that is, and actually we really should have let Sloppy go first because he's using missile attack, although I'm not
using
Sloppy,
missile anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure that you want to engage with missile attack.
I would
now.
switch to my bastard sword if I could.
Okay, so go for it.
All right. Oops, I rolled. Well, I guess that's this. Oh, I crit. And then I rolled a 3 on the d6 plus 1. So that's 7. Oh, that's if it's one-handed. Oh, well. I'll say I attacked with one hand since I had my bow.
But did you crit, though?
Yes. Do I just multiply by 2?
If you crit, no, you're going to get 6 points of damage. Like, you're going to get max damage on whatever your die is. Then you're going to roll that die again. So roll an additional. So you're going to get max damage.
So it'd be 9.
Then roll an additional die plus your modifier.
So 10 then.
Okay. Tell us what that looks like.
So this one creature that came up and missed me last time, I am still holding my bow as I draw my bastard sword, and I swing it one-handed and just decapitate him.
Nice.
And then I drop my bow, or I don't even drop my bow. I just set it gently behind myself, and I grip my sword with 2 hands, and I say, "Who's next?"
Kobold heads are flying. That brings us to you, Athan. Unless, and I apologize for this. LBJ. If you were going to do movement, you actually should have been able to move first. I apologize for that. So,
is there a way to go up top and look down, like through the woods, or? So I'm thinking the path goes down.
There is. So, but you'd have to go up and around. What I mean is, like, when you guys entered it, think of the ravine as sort of like rising to the west.
Okay.
You entered at the east, the eastern mouth. So you could, move around and up along the edge of the ravine. You're at the lowest level, like you're at floor level of the ravine now. So.
Okay. So I guess I would use my movement to try to get up top. See if I can get up top of the ravine.
Okay. I'm fairly certain that your movement is 40 feet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't have that right in front of me. I couldn't tell you.
All right, let me check. I'm fairly certain it's 40 though. It is indeed 40. Okay, so you can make it you make it up. You are now approximately 20 to 25 feet above where they are. Did you go to the north or the south? Which side did you want to go to?
North. So I want to look down onto the fight.
Gotcha. And you are essentially looking down onto the fight. Yeah.
All right.
And then that brings us to you, Athan.
Okay, so the one that hit me, I'm going to turn towards and just longsword coming down. I'm going to try to separate his head from the rest of his body.
Nice.
Oh, that's armor class 1.
That is a hit for sure.
Okay, so D8 plus 2, and that is max damage. That's 10 points of damage.
Tell us what that looks like.
So basically I come down, I curse him for hitting me, and just goes straight through, like no resistance whatsoever. And the kobold's head just goes flying, and the rest of his body just drops to the ground.
Nice. So that brings us to the kobolds.
Aaron has to go.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
He did not
forgot.
go.
How could I possibly forget Aaron? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to forget about him at all.
Yes.
And he hits, what's his backhoe? Oh, he hit armor class -1.
That is absolutely a hit.
He for 2 points of damage.
Okay. So Aaron brings his mace down, and it does connect. It connects rather solidly, but this kobold seems particularly strong, and he is still standing regardless of this solid connection. The kobold kind of sneers it off and gnashes its teeth back at Aaron, which brings us to the kobold's turn. There are now 5 left. 3 lie bloodied and broken in front of the remnants. There are 2 on Aaron still. 1 is hurt, but there are still 2 there. There is 1, there are 2 or 1 on Raz. And then there are 2 still on Athan. The 2 that are on Athan, having seen their comrade get beheaded, actually break for the cave entrance. The 2 that are on Aaron, one of them breaks for the cave entrance, so they're running for the cave entrance, and the 2 that are on Raz, again, one which is wounded, are fighting. They're fighting on. So the kobolds have now split. Some of them have seen their comrades fallen, this sort of bloody, broken, dog-like bodies in front of them, and they are breaking for the cave entrance to do who knows what. And some of them are actually deciding to fight on. So, Raz, you are going to take attacks. That's a miss. That's a natural 1. All right, wait, I gotta rub the dice god's head. Hold on. Okay. That's a miss. Okay. No, so they are shaken and clearly they're shaken and clearly in fear of their lives. At this point, they're almost attacking half-heartedly, and you can clearly see that they're calculating their chances, and they look like they're ready to bolt. That brings us to the top of the order and initiative.
So there's no kobolds engaged with me anymore, right?
No, there are not. You beheaded the only kobold that was that was there. Yeah.
Good.
We got a 4.
I got a 4 as well. That means that combat is going to happen simultaneously. So here's what's going to happen. Nobody won initiative, right? Nobody's really doing missile weapons. So, you are doing missile weapons. Okay.
I don't know if what I'm about to do is a missile weapon. So.
Okay. Well, let's hear it, and then we'll make that determination. But keep in mind that all of this is going to happen at the same time. That means that it's possible for, I guess what I'm saying is you could strike and kill a kobold, during this round. But if the kobold that strikes you also, I guess if he also gets a hit, you both can. It's sort of you both can die, right?
Right.
In this round. So yeah.
And if I could, I would switch back to my bow.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Absolutely. What do you want? What are you thinking there, LBJ?
So if this is some kind of dense wood, I would assume that there is a branch or a log or something that has broken off, and I would like to push it off the edge and see if I could hit those that are retreating.
Okay. So A, that's amazing, right? Okay, that's just freaking amazing. B, I need you to give me a strength roll to do that.
Oh God. Come on, strength. Oh no, that's a fail.
Okay, so So do you want to tell us what happened?
So I go to grab this log and misjudge the fact that it's a lot heavier than I expect, and I've got a bad shoulder, and it's not moving, and I'm starting to curse at it.
Okay, so you guys hear a bunch of cursing and swearing from up above the ravine. I'm gonna let you act first. In other words, I'm gonna let you get your attacks in first. But keep in mind that this is simultaneous combat. So just because you drop a kobold now doesn't mean that it's not going to be able to take you down, because this is all happening simultaneously, and we'll narrate it that way. So let's go. Sloppy, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot one of the kobolds that's on Rosalind, just because I know she's the weakest one in the party right now, and I got to cover her butt.
Okay, makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay, so go for it.
Plus, Sloppy probably likes her little tiny butt too. So that is a 17. So armor class 2.
That is absolutely a hit.
4 points of damage on that little dog-like creature.
Tell us how that looks.
So he's probably focused on her, and this arrow hits him right in the back of his head, but just under his head, and severs his spinal column from his head.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
And you see his head, like as he falls over, it just kind of like loose, like the skin's holding it on. You know what I mean? And so it just kind of dangles there, like upside down, sideways. If that's a good visual for you.
So, Roz, you see in front of you exactly what Sloppy has just described. What are you doing?
Could I take out my bow then and try and hit one of the creatures on like Ethan?
So yes, you certainly could. You certainly can, but there is still a kobold on you.
There's still one on me?
Yes.
There were 3?
There were. Oh no, there were 2 on you. There were 3 on
2.
Ethan. No, I apologize. I apologize. Yeah. There were 3 on Ethan.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah. So you can certainly attack one that's on Ethan.
Okay. Oh, so that is a crit.
Nice.
So then that's 8, right?
So it would be right. Whatever max damage is, then roll that die again and add your modifier.
Oh, okay. So then it'd be 9.
Oh.
Because I rolled a 1.
What are you Oh, that's okay. That's sad. But still, tell us what that looks like. It still looks like you still drop it. Tell us what that looks like.
So the kobold drops in front of Roz, and she was actually a little frustrated because she was feeling like she was like, doing a good thing with her axe there. But it's okay. So she pulls out her bow, knocks an arrow, and right over Ethan's shoulder, just like he likes it, right past his shoulder, comes an arrow that flies into the neck of one of the kobolds that was attacking him.
Fantastic. And then that brings us to you, Ethan, and then even though kobolds have died here, they still get attacks, right? Like we're narrating this as this is all is happening at one time. So we'll do a recap once the round is over.
Right. So there's 1 left on me or 2 left on me?
So right now there are 2 on you. You killed one, and
right, but then you said they were going to run, or
right, and 1 ran, and
okay.
So there were 2 on you. Even though 1 is dead, you're still getting 2 attacks on you, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So whichever one did get shot, I'll attack.
Okay.
Just to spread the damage.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that is armor class 5.
That is a hit. Yes, sir.
Okay. For 5 damage.
Okay. Tell us what that looks like.
So at this point, I just would have come back around after decapitating the last one, seeing that there's one still there, and just thrust forward and just go right through the rib cage.
Gotcha.
And then just bash him off with my shield to get him off the sword.
Nice. So now these dead creatures are attacking, even though they're not dead yet, right? Like we're saying. So, okay. So Raz, just before Sloppy's arrow strikes this kobold, it thrusts forward with its spear at you, doing 2 points of damage. And as that spear lands, so Sloppy's arrow comes by and basically severs his spinal cord, and his head is just like sort of hanging, is hanging from a thread. At that exact point, one of the kobolds that was attacking Athan, rushes forward with his spear and misses because you fire an arrow off, and it catches the kobold and basically obliterates him. And also at that same point, the second kobold that was attacking Athan basically stabs forward with his spear and misses, and you kind of hear this mewling kind of cry of almost desperation and fear. He's like, Roar! So the kobolds that bolted at the top of the round have disappeared into the cave mouth. You hear, as all of this is happening outside, you hear inside, it sounds like the rattling of shells or dice or maybe bone. But you can hear this noise sort of echoing out from the cave mouth. We are now essentially, for all intents and purposes, out of initiative order because everything lies broken, bloodied, and dead before you. All who have faced the remnants have paid the price. But what do you want to do? Also, LBJ is nowhere to be seen, right? Like he's you heard some swearing and some really frustrated sort of mumbling up over the top of the cave mouth, but you don't know where he is at this point.
Okay, so Raz is pretty distraught at this point with the attack that she took.
Paula, you're a
actually
robot.
Yeah, your voice sounds really weird.
It was very distraught.
Yeah.
Take a moment, Paula.
Sorry.
Our
Is it
internet's
better?
a little inconsistent for her.
now.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
It's much better now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. So Roz is distraught with the attack that she took. So she actually is just gonna kind of like sit down on the ground and just like catch her bearings for a minute and just try and catch her breath right now.
Okay, so Raz sort of collapses into a heap, sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground, trying to, heaving and catching her breath. Looks more so out of frustration than it does out of actual fear or danger. But that's Raz. And so, what are you doing right now, Sloppy?
So I would looking around. So they're all dead. Or ran away, right?
Well, not all of them are dead, right? Like there are. I'm
going to shoot the last one then. Or
the
last
kobolds.
couple.
They've disappeared. The ones that bolted, there are no kobolds in sight. They've disappeared into the cave mouth. The kobolds that are left are all the ones that did not flee are dead. Yes, you bested.
I'd fall back to the wood line, assuming that's where LBJ disappeared to.
Okay.
Where I heard the swearing from. And then if I can find him, cool. If not, then I'll just wait until my party meets up with me.
Okay. And then Athan, if I could get what you're doing, and then LBJ will get, you're kind of separated right from the party, so we'll have you go last this round. So
I'd fall back with everybody else, basically.
Well, Sloppy is so. In fairness, Raz has not fallen back. Raz is basically sitting on the ground, crisscross applesauce, pouting. Right.
Okay. Then I would just move in front of her, like between her and the. So I'd be between her and the cave, basically. So if anything comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then LBJ, that brings us to you.
Yeah, I don't know the fight's over. I'm still trying to push this log into place.
If LBJ kills me, I'm gonna be
That's what
pissed
happens.
as
The log comes, hits Roz.
Give me a strength roll, LBJ.
Oh no, natural 20. No, I didn't.
Okay. So damn. All right. So you still hear Raz, you specifically, and you, Ethan, because you both are there. You still hear sort of this grunting and groaning, and like it basically it sounds like somebody's having a really, really hard bowel movement that like isn't coming along quite well. So so
I'll encourage him to push it out, tough it out. You can do it.
And again, you hear, you can still hear sort of this. It sounds. It really does. It sounds almost like shells, like clinking. Together, almost like a rattle. Sort of is the sound that you're hearing coming out of the cave mouth, is what I'm saying.
This is coming out of the cave that they retreated back to?
Yes, correct.
Does it sound like it's getting closer, or does it just sound like it's just there?
No, it just sounds like it's there. It's just this sort of, it's this rattling sound that's coming from inside the cave mouth.
It almost sounds like an alarm system sort of thing for them, in my opinion, at least.
I'd say that's quite astute of you.
That's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought about that.
I could be wrong. It's just that it's not getting closer. So at least it's not aggressive, whatever it is.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were like playing like dice or something, but probably an alarm seems like a more logical.
I mean, it's not like we can sneak in anyway. They obviously know we're here, so we don't have to worry about stealth.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Roz,
the
you don't
only
have to worry
thing I
about
can
stealthing.
sort of ish do.
So I need Roz, and I need Roz, and I need Ethan to give me a save versus Dragon's Breath.
What?
No, wait. Let me explain something to you though. It doesn't mean that it's Dragon's Breath, right? Like
Oh, I mean.
It's just it could be any breath weapon type of.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Look at Peter over there, all smug.
I also know that I have to roll a 16 or above, so that is a solid 9.
Okay, so
for my 16. Mm-hmm.
Ethan, let me get yours, and I'll tell you what happens.
I actually rolled a nat 20, so that's probably wasted for the night.
Okay, so
I have 3d6 here ready to roll up my new character.
My magic user has 1 hit point, so I'm going to work on my second backup.
So here's what you're sort of sitting on the ground, crisscross applesauce, with your, like facing away from the cave mouth. Ethan, you're standing, sort of facing the cave mouth. You see, Ethan, essentially what looks like, for all intents and purposes, a Molotov cocktail. It is a clay pot with a piece of cloth hanging out of it that is literally on fire. It hits the ground, basically right at your feet. But you saw it coming, and you're able to jump away, taking half damage. But Roz, since you're sort of facing away, you didn't see it coming, and you're taking full damage. So this is going to be a critical.
I don't know why you're rolling.
I just want to go on. I want to go on record as saying that I This is not me being deadly DM. I tried to warn you as much as I possibly could.
I mean, I'm just pulling up the new the book.
I get it. So Ethan takes.
So there's a chance that wasn't an alarm system.
Ethan takes 3 points of damage. Because you're basically halved. You should have received 7, and we're rounding down instead of up. And here we go, Roz. Here's your 2d6 lifeline right now. Are you ready? Roz takes 4.
How many hit points I have?
Paula didn't hear it because she's a robot. She by default doesn't take that damage.
She did not hear it. But you, Roz, you take 4 points of damage.
Okay. So this Molotov cocktail.
Wait a minute. Also, Aaron is there. Forgot all about Aaron. Aaron is with you. So Aaron, I need to save versus Dragon Breath from Aaron as well.
No.
Yeah, he also rolled a 9, so he's got nothing.
Okay. So Aaron takes Aaron takes 6 points of damage.
Moral of the story: follow the leader.
Does he have that left?
Oh yeah, dude.
Aaron?
He's still got a solid 4 left, which is worse than what
I think
Raz even had in the first place.
I think Aaron had 13 hit points, if I'm not mistaken. It was 12 or 13 hit points. He's second level, keep in mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have 1 left.
He's pulled directly from the Shady Inn. So right. So yeah.
That's an awesome supplement, by the way.
It really is. It's perfect for just
I love it.
On the fly. Yeah. So okay, so Sloppy, you go back to the woods and you hear this almost explosion, oil rapidly igniting. You hear Roz scream, you hear Aaron sort of moan, and you hear Ethan just say, "Oh, Jesus, not again!" And then and LBJ, you see this just poof of black smoke and flame rising up over the edge of the ravine.
That can't be good.
LBJ, you done grunting and groaning? Something's going on back here. I feel like I'm in the movie Platoon.
No, you're not. You're not in talking distance with LBJ. LBJ,
so you didn't hear me say that. Damn it.
Right, he did not hear you say that. He's up the ravine on the side. You're basically at the entrance. You remember you said you went to the entrance.
Yeah, how
where
far
the woods
in?
were. He's about 40.
I mean, obviously,
feet.
I don't know how far he is, but
right.
So the ravine's like 40 or 50 feet back still.
Well, the ravine rises up to a maximum height of about 100 feet, right? Like on either side. LBJ is about 40 feet away from you. Yeah, he's about 40 feet away from you, 25 to 30 feet up off the ground. So yeah.
I will literally just duck down behind a tree, and if I see any survivors in the opening, I'll tell them to get back here with me.
Okay. So that. Well, you know what? That brings us to you, Roz. Why don't you tell us what happened to you and what you're doing there?
So the Molotov cocktail is launched at Roz, and her accomplices seem to be doing okay, but the fire definitely reeks.
Actually, Aaron or Ethan don't look real good at this point.
Yeah,
well,
I have
you
one
know
hit point.
what? They look better than Ross does. Okay. As flames just cover Roz from head to toe, she screams and she tries to get up and run, and she runs into the wall of the ravine, knocks herself out, and you are unable to revive her.
So are you saying that Roz is dead? Did Roz just die?
Yeah, she only had 1 hit point left, Bill. She
Are you
only
kidding?
had 3 total. You hit me for 2.
I
I
dropped
had 1
another.
hit point left, and you're over there. You're over there like, I'm gonna roll for these hit points. I'm like, what you doing? Like, I got 1.
Let's see. Let me roll this 2d6.
I got
no.
1. Yukino, 1 hit point.
All right. Well,
1 hit point.
you still have. There is
I ro-
still.
He
I
was
rolled
tired
up
of
my
your
new
robot voice.
character,
Get your
though.
robot voice up out of here.
You know what?
There is still. Wait. There is still a Thaddeus yet alive, right? Like so. Now tell us what Aaron. By the way, I really had no idea that Raz just dropped there. That was as shocking to me, I think, as it was to everybody else. I don't think anybody knew that Raz was going to die, but
Oh, I knew.
Oh,
Yep.
the look on Peter's face when I said I failed. He was like, oh boy.
She said before the stream, she's like, I got a strong 3 hit points. After I said mine are the strongest 2 hit points. Look who's alive.
All right. Well, that happened, but again, a Thaddeus yet lives. So what does Aaron do at this point?
So at this point, Aaron is also covered in flame, but he's able to somewhat extinguish himself. He actually runs over to Raz's body and tries to revive her. And kind of realizing that it's not working, he takes out his holy symbol and he begins to pray quietly over her body.
Yeah, sadly, at second level, there is no resurrection spell. So, that brings us to you, Ethan. What are you doing with your hair all singed off and no eyebrows left? And yeah.
Well, I guess unfortunately Thaddeus is still, or not Thaddeus, Aaron's still down here. So I would go and take up a defensive position in front of him while he's saying his prayers.
Wow, with 1 hit point. Good.
Yeah, I know.
You. All right, and LBJ, what are you doing?
I guess I see the plume of
Black
smoke.
and you smell singed hair and burning flesh. Yeah, right.
So I would stop and peek down and look down into the ravine.
So you look down and you see the charred beyond recognition body of Raz as Aaron is kneeling over her sort of broken and burnt body. She doesn't appear to be moving, and the scene looks pretty grim as you see Ethan rushing forward to take a defensive position next to Aaron as he prays over the body, and Sloppy is nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he must have got incinerated. Yeah, I'm going to prepare. I'm going to try to grab some sort of something to throw onto this if they come out. So
Okay.
whatever, a rock or something. I'll probably give up on this large tree trunk that I can't move.
Yep. So we're gonna say, yeah, that it's quite easy. I'm not even gonna have you roll to find a rock, right? Like you'll be able to find a rock easily. So because there's debris, stones, rocks all over the place.
Okay.
So okay, so you're prepped with your rock. You still hear, so Ethan and Aaron, I was going to say Ethan, Roz, and Aaron, I'm so sorry. Ethan and Aaron, you still hear the sound. It has not stopped, this sort of this rattling sound. The thing is, though, you are now also hearing sounds from further up the ravine. So as you look up, as you're looking at the cliff face, there's a cave mouth that is a bit higher, perhaps 10 to 15. So essentially half the distance between the cave mouth or between the floor of the ravine and the top of the ravine. In other words, the crest of the ravine at the top. You see another cave mouth a little bit further to the west, and you hear a similar rattling coming from that cave mouth now as well. So you're kind of hearing these two rattling sounds as if shells emitting from both of these cave mouths, and it's echoing across the ravine itself. You imagine that it's echoing off of all the walls, and that anyone within this ravine area can hear it, which is LBJ. You do hear this rattling sound echoing off the walls. It's hard for you to tell where it's coming from because, again, it's sort of being amplified and echoing off of the ravine walls, but it sounds quite loud.
Okay.
So I'll tell Aaron that we need to regroup with the rest of the party.
Okay.
So for him to finish his prayers as quickly as possible.
Kind of hearing that, Aaron will try and wrap it up a little bit, and he finishes praying over her body, and he'll brush himself off, stand up, and get out of there.
Okay. So which way are you both heading though? I'm assuming you're both heading in the same direction. Where are you headed?
The same way that Sloppy was going, because we should still be able to see him.
Well, he ducked down behind a tree.
Okay.
So back to the tree line where we originally came out, I think that's kind of where the direction I'm headed.
Yep, Sloppy, you can see Aaron and Ethan approaching, neither of which look in very good condition, but Ethan
and I had
is sort
told him
of
to come
half limping. Ethan is kind of half limping, eyebrows completely singed off. His armor is it looks like an aluminum pot that you had been put over the barbecue grill, and sort of it's got those black sort of flame scorch marks on it. And Aaron just has that 1,000-yard stare, and looks like looks like he's about to have a breakdown at any moment.
When Aaron comes back, I grab him and pull him behind me. And then when I see Ethan, I say, "Oh, dude, you really got to shine up that armor. It's looking a little rough there." Where'd LBJ go?
The first chance I get.
Yeah, where'd LBJ go? Gosh, you look rough, Ethan.
I think he was using the bathroom up above us, so. Though it didn't sound like it was going well.
How bad does Ethan look?
I am down to 1 hit point out of 10.
Okay, so Aaron.
So Ethan is on
10%.
death's door. Yeah, right.
He's on
right.
10%. If you had to guess.
So Aaron, seeing that Ethan looks like he's clearly seen better days, and doesn't look like he can take much more. Aaron will actually he takes out his holy symbol, and he touches your shoulder lightly, and his holy symbol starts to glow as he chants a little bit, and he heals you for 4 hit points.
Oh, I thank him for that. That's still much more than I had, so that puts me at 5.
You're twice as strong as Rosalind was.
Okay, how did I not know that Roz was that weak? I really didn't.
I think you missed her bragging about her strong 3 hit points.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's a first level thief. Yeah. How many hit points can she have, Bill?
4 max.
What you meant to say was she was a first level thief.
Yeah, I know. I only have 1 character sheet too, so I erased her name and I just started over again.
But that's okay. Bill's got out of his system now, though, so he's not going to kill any more of us.
But you know what? This new character has opportunities, so we're going to see how it goes.
Yes.
Paula.
Well, too late. I'm using my eraser next time.
She's going to be like, how did my dex get so high on this character? I thought I rolled like a 7, but it's like a 16.
Okay, so you, LBJ, you're looking down, you're standing there with, the rock kind of waiting to drop it on someone. And you see Aaron and Ethan make their way, over to the mouth of the canyon where you guys had all come in. Sloppy, and then you see Sloppy sort of jump out behind a tree, and he's greeting them. You can see some sort of conversation back and forth between Ethan and Sloppy. You can't really tell what it is, but Ethan kind of looks Ethan looks a little bit frustrated, and Sloppy just kind of looks a little smarmy. And Aaron, you can see Aaron performing some sort of rite on some sort of religious rite on Ethan.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Do you want to continue?
Yeah, I'm continue.
You're holding your post? Okay.
Yep. And wondering why Roz hasn't moved.
Oh yeah, valid. Oh man, that's so sad. Okay, so you here, hold on. There's 3 of you. Okay, so Sloppy, you know, as you're sort of, you know, as you're telling Ethan that he really needs to polish up his armor, you see just, you know, over his shoulder, you're kind of facing the northern side of the canyon. You see LBJ standing over the cave mouth, like holding a stone, just so kind of like staring intently over the side and holding this stone.
I point over Ethan's shoulder with my bow up at LBJ, and I'm like, look, he's holding a rock. What is he about to do?
I'm just gonna kind of move the bow off to the side and just let him know that you can point it without it being like over my body. That's...
Hey, I haven't shot it over you in the last like 10 minutes. That was somebody else who's not with us anymore.
Well, fair enough, I guess.
Should we just wait for them to come out of the cave? Like, what do you think?
I think if nothing else, we should at least go back up with LBJ so that he's not there by himself in case somebody comes from behind him. We did encounter creatures out in the woods, the same woods that we walked through to get here.
Yeah, but up there we're sitting ducks. We're like just with our butts out to dry. I don't know. You think so? All right, fine. We got to follow the leader. It got us this far. Let's keep following the leader.
Yeah, we're not exactly protected where we are, and I just point to all like the damage, like the blast marks. And
I refer to the opening that he just came out of. I'm
LBJ, like, give me an initiative roll.
Oh no,
just LBJ.
It's a D8, right? I don't think I heard that.
No, it's a D6, sir.
Okay, D6. Oh, I need one.
Plus whatever your modifier is.
Okay, that's easy. None. Oh, I rolled a 6.
Okay, so LBJ, you see 2 sort of dog-headed creatures rush out of the cave and grab Roz's body, and they're dragging Roz back into the cave. Do you want to drop the rock?
Oh yeah.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Roll good. Oh man, a 5.
Okay, so you all are watching this from the other side of the ravine. LBJ drops this rock, but it's kind of heavier than he thought it was, and he kind of teeters forward, almost falling over with the rock, lets it go. It misses, you know, 2 of these dog-like creatures that had rushed out, and you see that they have dragged Roz's body, Roz's sort of, you know, burnt, charred body, back into the cave to do God knows what with, right?
can I shoot one with an arrow?
So, what do you have? Do you have a short bow or do you have a long bow?
Short bow.
So what's your distance? Is it 60 feet?
The first increment is 50, 100, and then 150.
Okay. So did you have your bow ready? You did, because you said you pointed over.
I pointed with my bow.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so yeah, I'll let you. Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you take an arrow attack. Yep.
Yeah, missed. 2 on the die.
Okay, so you fire the arrow towards the cave. It just kind of ricochets off the cave wall, and you know, Roz's body basically disappears into the gaping maw of death.
I will take cover behind a tree.
Okay.
It wasn't enough to just kill me. You also had to burn my body and have
And
it
desecrate it.
stolen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
kobolds got to eat too. All right. Like, I'm just saying, everyone's got to eat. We all poop. So,
Well,
no, that's the way it is.
you know, the benefit of old
Speak
school
for
is
yourself.
that
There's
my
at least
new
one person in
character-
our house that doesn't.
There is a my new character is all almost ready to go. So
That is the beauty of old school. Okay, so what do you? So you just saw LBJ drop this stone. It kind of clattered down the side of the thing, towards these two kobolds, completely missing them. Roz's body has now been dragged in. What are you doing now? Also, you are still hearing the sound, the sort of the chattering sound, and it almost sounds as if it's growing. You can't be certain because you're out of the ravine now, you're out of the canyon, and you can't tell whether it's echoes or whether you're hearing more of these sort of, again, it sounds almost like shells, or maybe, I don't like some sort of like rattling sound.
So you asked us what we were doing?
Yes, I'm asking you as a party.
I
what
think
you're doing.
us, as in me, Aaron, and Ethan, had decided we were going to try and go up to meet up with LBJ.
Okay, so you're heading up the side of the ravine. LBJ, what are you doing?
Looking for another rock or something.
Okay, so you make it up the side of the ravine to where LBJ is, and you can see him. Looking around, sort of scouring the ground intently.
What are you doing up here? You're just kind of hanging out? Your good friend Roz is dead.
What do you mean?
You disappeared. She got barbecued. While you were up here looking for cigarette butts or something, she was taken out, man.
He's not Luther.
I mean, I'm not smart, but there was a lot of them. Why didn't you run?
Because I was killing them. Someone's got to do it. I took out 2 of them.
I was trying to get the high ground.
You got the high ground, and you dropped a rock.
Okay. As you're having this conversation, the rattling sound stops, or begins to subside, and you hear a familiar sound of a horn, sort of moaning, blowing, in the background. It's growing and growing. You can hear this. It sounds to be the same horn that was blowing, when you followed these kobolds in here.
Guys, we got to get in there and take out these creatures.
Yeah, at some
sit
point we
up.
just got to enter the cave. We can't just stay out here and hope that they'll come out one by one for us to deal with them.
We got to stop that horn blowing before we get ambushed, too.
As Sloppy says that, a second horn begins to blow.
I walk away and start making my way down the ravine again, back to the woods.
Okay, so Sloppy is making his way back down the ravine. What is LBJ doing?
Why can't we just take them out one by one? And I continue to look for another rock.
Ethan?
I'll just tell them there's too many of them. We'd be here forever if that's the case. And according to the priest, we are on a time crunch.
Aaron?
Aaron was really distracted by Roz's death. He he's not really sure what to do right now. He'd rather not fight anything. But he also isn't gonna leave the group. He'd like to get out of here though.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part of what you said, Paula.
Oh, he'd just like to get out of here.
Okay. All right. So does that mean that, so is Aaron following Sloppy, or what is Aaron doing?
Yes.
Okay. And then just for clarity, LBJ is looking around for a rock and another rock, and Ethan is helping LBJ, or Ethan is following Sloppy down the side?
I'm trying to convince LBJ that we should all stick together and we should go.
Okay. So Sloppy and Aaron, you reach sort of the bottom of the ravine. You know, you've come down to the bottom, to the mouth of the ravine, and you clearly see light, what appears to be firelight, sort of flickering in the cave at the floor, you know, the bottom floor where Roz sort of was pulled into. But you also see flickering light to the cave that is midway up the ravine wall. It appears to be torchlight, perhaps. You can't really be certain. It is some sort of light and fire. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll figure out what the remnants are going to do when we get back. Rest in peace, Roz. We loved her for the session and a quarter that she lived, but
I'm never gonna get any hit point or any XP at this rate. Like every time you guys get XP, I die.
Well, it's what was meant to be. It's called fate.
For your words of wisdom.
You know it. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, we're back. This time with no ravens. Take it away, Bill.
We still have a Draven, but no ravens. And unfortunately, no Raz. But what we do have is the party split essentially at this point. We have Ethan and LBJ who are up along the top of the ravine over the crest, with LBJ searching for a stone, and Ethan sort of pleading / convincing with him to go down and join the rest of the party. Aaron and Sloppy had made their way down to the sort of the mouth of the ravine again, and Sloppy saw or noticed fire. Could be torchlight, could be could be a sort of a cooking fire or a campfire, but he sees it emanating from the mouth of two of the caves, one at the foot, which is where Raz's body was dragged in, and then one slightly further up the side of the ravine on an outcropping. With that, we're going to let LBJ and Ethan go, and then we'll see what Aaron and Sloppy are doing. So LBJ, what are you doing?
Looking for, obviously I can look for a bigger rock because Ethan is with me, so that would be we can pick up a bigger rock. And
there are rocks. There's rocks, rubble, and debris strewn all over. You can find you can pretty much find almost any size rock that you're looking for, including stones that you would need to give me a strength roll on. However, I'm gonna adjudicate here that you could probably find a stone that's 2.5 to 3 feet wide that you would be able to pick up by yourself, but that would be about the largest stone, depending on what is your strength, LBJ.
That is a hardy 9.
Yeah, so we're going to say 2.5 to 3 feet wide, is going to be the largest stone that you can find. And the thing about these stones are the rubble and debris. It's almost like a shale. So they're not like rounded. So it's almost, it's like shale or flint, right? Where it's layers of. So you find one, it's a couple 3-4 inches thick, and 2.5 to 3 feet wide that you could pick up by yourself. Anything larger than that, you're going to either need to make a strength roll or you're going to need someone else to help you. So,
but if we had all of us, we could pick up a much bigger rock. So I should probably go with Ethan and get the rest of them.
Okay, Ethan, what are you doing?
If he's willing to abandon searching for a rock right now, I'll consider that a win.
Okay.
And I'll guide him down. So I'll have my shield ready and just basically tell him just stay behind me.
Okay, so you two are making your way down the side of the ravine, sort of along the crest. Aaron and Sloppy, what are you doing?
I've got an arrow trained on the cave with the light on the lower level. I'm just waiting. Hopefully, Ethan was able to talk LBJ into coming along with us.
Yeah, you can see their way. You can see that they're beginning to make their way down the side. Aaron, what are you doing?
Aaron is every couple seconds he just kind of like inches back just a little bit. He definitely doesn't want to be close to the edge of this clearing and get spotted at all. But he also doesn't want anybody else to realize how terrified he actually is right now. So he's trying to just kind of put up a front and stay up there, but he's actually terrified. And after a couple minutes, you can clearly notice that he's actually almost standing behind Sloppy at this point. Just trying to keep an eye out, but not interested at all.
So Aaron is he's backing up almost subconsciously, almost unconsciously. He doesn't even realize that he's doing it until he gets to slightly behind on the left shoulder of Sloppy, when he feels a hand slap on his right shoulder. Sort of someone puts a hand on his shoulder.
He will whip around quickly to
Okay.
see who it is.
He whips around and he sees. Tell us who he sees, Paula.
He sees a sun-beaten tall woman who is she has long blonde hair that she is wearing to the side in a braid. She is wearing black plate armor that almost seems to absorb all the light around her, and she is carrying a very large shield with a lion's face on it. She has spears strapped to her back and multiple swords hanging at her side. And she actually almost kind of whispers to him and says, "What you guys doing?"
I get a very Sansa, Queen of the North vibe off of this character. I love it. Okay, so she whispers, "What you doing?" How does Aaron react? And I know I'm sorry to make you role play with yourself, but let's just get through this, right? So, how does Aaron react to this?
So Aaron is actually terrified and says, Slappy,
As he
who
says
are
that,
you?
I actually show up next to this new person with an arrow right to her cheek. Whereas if she were to move the slightest bit towards me, it would cut her.
Nice.
Who are you?
My name is Alessandra. And you would be who exactly?
Sherman. Nice armor. Are you here to help us or are you here against us?
Well, I suppose that depends on what you're doing.
We're killing dog creatures.
Well, I could go for that. How many did you kill so far?
Me personally?
And Alessandra,
Too many to count.
as you say this, you can see you're sort of facing, and you do see what looks like 4 or 5, maybe 6 kobold bodies sort of laying there, as well as scorched earth in front of them.
So she looks slightly impressed, but only very, very slightly impressed. So how many did you kill so far?
Out here today, I killed a third of those ones, but I've killed a lot more in the last day or two.
LBJ,
How many have you killed?
LBJ and Ethan, you guys arrive to see this very tall, sort of menacing looking blonde woman having a conversation with Sloppy as Aaron is sort of cowering back, rather meekly.
Well, I killed quite a few up on the road there. I assume you guys caused this ruckus?
I don't cause a ruckus. I'm very precise in what I do.
Oh, I'm sure. It was so easy to sneak up on you. I'm sure you're extremely, extremely precise.
That is all Aaron's fault. He's supposed to be watching my back. And I don't know, I got the arrow on your face really quickly there.
The horns have stopped blowing. So you no longer hear the horns, nor do you hear the rattling sound. It's actually oddly, almost eerily quiet. As Alessandra, as you're talking to Sloppy, you almost pause because you were sort of speaking loudly over the ruckus, and you realize that you're almost half shouting at him because it has gone eerily quiet. You don't hear anything, although the flames are still glowing within the caves along the wall, and you actually notice more now flicker to life. Did Alessandra freeze?
It looks like it. She's got a
Yeah.
death stare going.
Yeah, she does. I feel personally in danger.
Do not
at
kill
this
my
point.
character.
Yeah, I know,
She's-
right?
She is peering right into your soul, Bill.
She really is. Like she's like, again, I'm getting a very Sansa Queen of the North vibe. Like it's yeah.
Oh yeah, she did drop. All right.
I did. Sorry.
It's okay. Do your thing.
So did you hear? Were you
just-
able to hear what I said, or
Nope.
no?
I heard the word flames
So
at one
right,
point.
so
Yeah, 2d6.
it has gone eerily quiet. As you're having this conversation with Sloppy, you realize that you were raising your voice to get over this din of horn blowing and sort of rattling of shells and or bone, and it's dropped. It's stopped all of it, and it's eerily quiet. And you recognize, you almost pause midway through your conversation with Sloppy because you realize that you're yelling, and that it has gone completely quiet. A quick scan of the northern side of the ravine face reveals that the fires are still glowing, and you see another fire in yet another cave mouth begin to glow.
Look, I'm not a genius, you guys, but unless you got a really good plan, I suggest we maybe get out of here for a minute, let things die down, come back later.
We'll wait till our leader comes back, and we'll see what he thinks.
Well, just for point of clarification, Ethan and LBJ have arrived. They've come upon this conversation. Yeah, they've kind of walked into it. So.
LBJ, what say you? Should we retreat for a minute?
Who's a new one? Is that Astrid? Is that you? Look just like her.
I'm not sure who Astrid is, but my name is Alessandra.
Close enough.
Sort of like Astrid, I guess.
Yep, reckon.
This is your leader.
Look,
It's
those who didn't
a
follow
long
him
story.
died on the field. Okay.
Glad you're here. We can pick up an even bigger rock with you.
I'm not sure what rocks we're picking up, but if you have a good strategy for the caves, I'd be mighty interested in hearing about it.
We pick up a big rock, when they come out, we drop it on them.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, it's actually not terrible.
It's a plan.
Oh no, it's terrible. But look. He's the leader. That means you follow him into the caves. And then
You didn't follow me before.
I followed you into the woods. That's why I'm unscathed. Look at Ethan. He's all burnt to crisp because he didn't follow you.
We got to get Roz back, though.
You hear, as you're having this conversation, you hear echoing across the walls of the canyon what, for all intents and purposes, can be described as a roar of sheer malice. It kind of erupts as this low rumble. And you hear it echo across all of the walls of the canyon. This deep sort of death cry just shatters the silence. All of the birds that were in the trees along the ravine sort of take to air and fly off, and you begin to hear sort of a steady drum beat, just this heavy, steady kind of bass drum beat undertone. Sorry, go continue with your conversation.
That's our cue to leave, guys.
Yep. I think that's a good sign that we should come back later.
Well, remember what we're here to stop. How much time do you think we really should waste? It might be better just to pick a cave and go into it rather than be out in the open.
So I have no idea what you are here to stop. However, you're not going to do much good stopping anything if you're dead.
We're not going to stop anything if we spend all of our time outside the caves hiding either.
So,
Well, I'm just saying at least wait until the drums are over.
as you are having this conversation, you see emerge from a cave on the northern wall, but slightly higher, sort of midway. He almost has to squeeze himself through. You see emerging this massive grayish, bluish type creature, sort of a light, like a light gray, oddly bluish creature with glowing red eyes, emerge from one of the caves. He easily stands as tall by half another man, right? So he's approximately 8 feet tall, 8.5 feet tall. You can guesstimate by just by looking at him. He's carrying in one hand, in his left hand, a torch that is lit, but it's not actually fair to call it a torch. It's really more either a small tree limb or a very large bough of a tree. In his right hand, he has another small tree limb or small tree trunk and or large tree bough. Looks to be oaken with spikes, almost like, like railroad spikes don't exist, but that it looks to be 6 to 8 spikes protruding from the ends of this club, and you hear the sound again, but you can see where it's emanating from, and it is emanating from this massive creature that has just emerged from the cave mouth, and it is actively looking around as the drum beats begin to increase.
So I turn to Sherman and I just say, "Don't shoot him."
So
I whisper back, what does our leader say?
Alessandra actually, so she begins to kind of like shake her arms a little bit. She cracks her neck a few times and she says, so we gonna do this or what?
Man, I love your Moxie.
I'll follow your lead.
I look down. LBJ looks down at the necklace that he has.
You kill the leader, you're in charge. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, dang, I didn't think you guys would say that. Okay.
God damn it.
And there's only one of him.
Should I shoot, LBJ?
I don't know what you're waiting on.
How far away are we?
You at this point, so you're approximately 50 feet away, 50 to 60 feet away
Plus
from the cave wall, but he's up about 15 to 20 feet midway, through.
So there's a chance that he might jump down and hurt himself. Okay.
Drop a rock on his head.
I'll let an arrow go.
Okay.
Roll.
Give me an attack roll. This is going to be your surprise round. So yeah.
Yes. So that's a 19, and I rolled maximum on the die, a 6.
Okay.
So so 6 points of damage.
Okay. So Sloppy
class
looses
0.
this arrow. Sorry?
Armor class 0, by the way.
Yes, it's absolutely a hit. Sloppy looses this arrow, and it flies. It flies, across and strikes home, hitting this creature right in the chest. But the creature appears unfazed, or at least, if anything, he seems to be more angered than hurt, and he just kind of like doesn't even pull the arrow out. He just brushes it off and it cracks, the end of the arrow. The other part is stuck in, and he appears completely unfazed. Does anyone else want to do anything, or shall we roll initiative? Because we're gonna call this your surprise round. So
you know what? If he's gonna shoot an arrow at it, I'll go ahead and pull out a spear. I would assume that's within range.
No,
I don't really have any idea.
You're not good. I don't believe that you're. So we're talking like 50 to 60 feet plus, an elevation of like 25. That's like 85 feet. Is
okay.
Like 85
it's probably like is that a 30?
Yeah, I don't think like that a spear.
Yeah,
I honestly don't. I don't know what the range is, but I'm gonna unless somebody wants to look that up really quickly. I see
Draven's on it.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. I got the book in front of me, so just bear with me.
I do not believe though that it is within distance.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
Spear, 20, 40, 60. So it'd be yeah.
So
really hard.
So I'll pass then.
Okay.
I'll just give Sherman this like exasperated look.
LBJ told me to.
And then I'm just gonna move in front of everybody else with my shield and sword ready, groaning, sighing, and I'll wait for the thing to come to us, unless the rest of them decide to retreat.
I think this new lady with her black armor and black shield with a lion on it, she looks like she's in better shape than you right now with like half your hair missing. She might want to stand up in the front.
I'm assuming Aaron cannot make a missile attack, so he's going to pass.
Yeah.
LBJ, you have a sling. What do you think there, buddy?
Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. That is a big miss.
Okay. So the creature again sort of screams more in rage than in agony, brushes the arrow off, and deftly makes his way down the side of the cliff face, almost as if he's done this before. It's like he knows all of the handholds and footholds, and he makes it deftly down to the floor and lets out a roar and begins rushing at you. Can I get an initiative roll, please?
I'll roll. 5.
Okay. There is a 9-foot tall ogreish creature hint rushing at you with what appear to be 2 clubs, which are tree trunks, but one is on fire and one has spikes. So
I'll shoot him again.
Good call. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
We're gonna find out how strong those 2 hit points are.
No. I am
Draven is such a responsible player, and then the rest of us are just like, I don't know what we're doing.
It is a crit. I rolled a 1 on the die, so that means it's only 7 points of damage. But yeah.
Okay. So tell us what that looks like. No, you're not getting off that easy.
It in the head, but it's got a thick skull, so it doesn't do much.
So you managed to lodge another arrow. Into it. It doesn't even slow down. It is charging full on like a freight train. So is anyone else? First of all, who else is taking a missile attack? They're going to go first, and then unless anyone wants to, does anyone want to move toward this? Or, and I'm not trying to tell you how to run your characters, does anyone want to move away from this? Because movement will obviously go first, right? So
I'm running into the wood line again.
Okay.
Come on, LBJ, hit it with your rocks.
Ethan?
So my character would always cover everybody else's retreat first. So if there's still someone behind, then
Sloppy fired.
I think
he's standing strong.
Right now, I'm just going to move towards it so that it gives them more time to get away.
Okay, good for you. Aaron and Alessandra.
Aaron is going to head back with LBJ to the tree line. Alessandra is going to move forward with Ethan, and she will actually take her sword. She takes the hilt of her sword and she bangs it on her shield as she's moving forward to attack, and she yells, "Come and get me!"
Okay, I'm just gonna say that's amazing, and I can't give you inspiration because there's no inspiration mechanic, but you're getting plus 5% XP for this because that was really super amazing. So
5% of 0 is still nothing.
That you know, like LBJ has slid back. Sloppy is standing strong. Ethan actually moved up to engage, and Alessandra moved up to engage. Aaron stepped back. The creature gets an attack this round, right? So that means it could be Ethan, it could be Alessandra, it could be Sloppy, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be fair on this. I'm gonna roll a d6, and we're going to say 1 or 2 it's Sloppy, 3 or 4 it's Ethan, 5 or 6 it's Alessandra, right? So
well, I moved up, so how would he get to Sloppy? As much as I'm not a fan of protecting him right now.
No, so it's going to be right. You're right. It's going to be Alessandra or Ethan. So 1, 2, 3 it's Ethan, 4, 5, 6 it's Alessandra. Okay, the guy that instigated the whole thing is not in.
Yeah, he does that. All right. That's fine.
That's what happens. That's how it goes.
It's those strong hit points.
Ethan, I'm sorry. So this massive, I mean, he's pure muscle, runs up to you and screams in your face. So you can see, like, as he's screaming in your face, you just smell his sort of fetid breath that is decayed flesh. And you can actually see pieces of what appear to be, you can't tell if it's human flesh or some sort of humanoid flesh, but stuck between his teeth. He screams into your face with his glowing red eyes and swings his tree / club around in front of him for your head, and he is swinging for the fences.
Yeah, I'll tell him that I do not fear death, even though I'm fully prepared for it.
Can you give me your AC one more time?
-5? No, it's 2.
A 2, did you say?
It's 2, yeah, armor class 2.
Okay, so that's a 10. So he swings, but he almost, he's running, and so as he swings, he overcompensates, and it goes right over your head. That brings us to the top of the order, and we need an initiative roll. You better roll good.
I'll roll good.
Need a 4.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 5. So I will shoot it again because I have not seen it kill anybody yet.
Yep.
And anybody, or hasn't killed me yet.
Does an armor class 4 hit?
An armor class 4 just hits. Yes, sir.
5 points of damage.
Okay. So another arrow sort of flies, Alessandra and Ethan, another arrow kind of flies through between you, and you see it strike into this creature's chest. He still appears, like, you can tell that that you see the blood coming down off of him, but he just appears to be more enraged than anything else. He doesn't appear to have been slowed down. He doesn't appear to be hurt in any way. He basically just looks like he's wanting to eat your face, right? So that brings us, well, LBJ, you broke for the woods.
Yeah, I'm in the wood line.
Range? What is the range on your sling? Can you still get a shot off?
I would run into the woods and then loop back.
Okay.
And if I can get out of the woods behind him, I will.
Well, again, you can, but you're going to be up on the top of the crest. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so in other words, you're standing at the base and then it rises up. So like if you're looping around this way along the wood line, you're actually going up, much like in the same, you would be heading back in the same spot that, you know, you were dropping stones, right?
Because I was under the impression that we were like out of that area and like up.
No, you're at the mouth. So it charged out towards you, towards Sloppy and Aaron and Alessandra, who were standing at the mouth of, you know, in the wood line, but at the mouth.
Okay.
So if you were to try to get around, like you'd have to either break cover from the wood line, or if you stayed with the wood line goes up along the crest of the ravine. You see what I'm saying? Like you could try to make your way around him, but there is no tree cover. The trees there are no trees in the base of the canyon. The trees sort of go up along the ridge.
Can I get elevation on him?
You can go back up that ridge line. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
That's my objective, is to get elevation on him. I'll feet to that
Yep. Okay, so you're kind of heading back to where you were before, which is up along the ridge line. So you're elevated 25, maybe 30 feet, over his head. So that brings us to Aaron, who was making his way towards, he's just moving. He was making his way to the wood line. What is Aaron doing? And then we'll get to Ethan and Alessandra.
Yeah, so Aaron thought that he was running away with LBJ, but now LBJ is running up to the top. So he's following him, kind of confused on what they're supposed to be doing, but trying to pretend like he knows what's going on. So he'll just continue to move along with him.
Okay. And that brings us to Ethan. Essentially this, and we're going to get to you, I've not forgotten Alessandra, but we're going to let Ethan go first, because basically, this thing just swung a massive oaken tree over your head.
Right. So as I duck the blow, I'm just going to come across and just going to slash basically across his abdomen. Okay. And see if I can open him up there.
Yep.
So
I'm praying to Astrid right now.
That worked. I got a nat 20.
That is phenomenal. Let's see what it does though.
So it's 10 plus. I don't double the adds, right? It's double the dice.
Correct. Well, yeah. you're basically taking max damage on the die. So it would be a D8, and then roll another D8 and add your modifier.
Right. Okay. So that is 14 total. I rolled a 4, and I rolling a D8 plus 2. So.
Okay. Tell me. So he's not dead, but that is a great blow. Tell me what that looks like. So
basically, just sort of slashes across his stomach, and it doesn't cut deep enough to actually disembowel, but it is hopefully a deep enough wound to maybe make him think twice about continuing to attack.
So, and he does scream in pain at that particular, at that strike. He screams out in that deep sort of booming voice, but he does not appear to be turning tail. In fact, he appears to be doubling down, which brings us to you, Alessandra. Sorry, did you want to add something else, Ethan?
Well, yeah, I was going to yell for everyone else to retreat and get to safety.
Gotcha.
Retreating's for losers.
Alessandra?
Armor class 4.
That is just a hit. Yep.
Okay. So she slices through him with her sword. She does a total of 6 points of damage to him.
So tell me what that looks like. I can't freaking believe you guys dropped this freaking thing. Okay. Tell me what that looks like, Alessandra.
Okay,
you're welcome.
Ethan slices through it with his sword. And this thing yells out in pain. It's kind of flailing its weapons around. Alessandra is able to deflect a blow with her shield and gets in there real close to him, taking her sword, thrusting it up right underneath his chin, up through his head, and her sword just barely pokes out the top of his head.
Amazing. Okay. So you guys witnessed this, and when it falls, it sort of slumps forward to its knees, and then so it slumps forward to its knees slowly, and then falls forward with a thud that almost shakes the ground, around, and the thud kind of echoes across the walls of the canyon, and as it does, you hear almost a mourning cry of kind of yips and howls throughout the entire cave complex.
Alessandra will actually yell out as she starts to circle around its dead body. Is that the best you have? Is that all you've got?
Oh, it's amazing.
And she wipes her sword off on his body and kind of nods over at Ethan as she begins to kind of just like casually walk back towards the tree line, almost like nothing happened, to try and find everyone else.
Does this creature have anything like horns or anything?
It does not. No, it appears to be humanoid of nature. It doesn't have any horns at all. It has, I mean, aside from its size and its musculature, it appears to be, you could say that it almost has human features. Again, its color is that of stone, sort of bluish gray stone.
It's not really hairy or anything then?
It's about 9 feet tall. No, it's completely hairless, actually. Okay. There is no hair on its body whatsoever. Not even, no eyebrows, no hair, no nothing. But it doesn't have, it appears to be just a large human, right? Other than the skin and the musculature and the size. So
okay. And no clothes or anything.
Yeah, it's wearing a loincloth, basically around what you would consider a loincloth. It actually, it actually appears to be sewn out of the skins of large cats, mountain lions, pumas, that sort of thing.
Okay. Nothing interesting to me. Okay. I'll fall back into the tree line.
So okay. I get to the, I guess I would be running through the woods and then stop out of breath and look down and see this happen.
You hear the roar of this creature and then the thud. Yeah, absolutely.
And make sure you get the nose.
So, Alessandra, as you're walking back, sort of sauntering back towards the tree line, very pleased with yourself, you hear LBJ yell out, not to forget the nose.
She just
Which you have absolutely no idea what that means.
Yeah, I was saying she just kind of looks up at him and just looks back at Ethan and, keeps walking. She does kind of look back for a second though at the club tree with the spikes in it. Yep. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the likelihood that Alessandra feels like she could wield that weapon?
0. Like she could try. She might, depending on what is Alessandra's strength.
If you're asking me that question, probably not high enough.
So, I guess what I'm saying is she may be able to pick it up. There is 0 chance that she would be able to swing it with any force behind it at all, right? She'd be like, yeah, right. So
all right, okay.
It is
then she'll let
it is really like a small tree trunk. Like it is legitimately a small tree trunk. So
yeah, but it would also be cool to kill the kobolds with their like ultimate warrior's weapon. So
It absolutely would. And if you were 9 feet tall, you would certainly be able to. But being a normal human size, I don't think that's going to be possible. I'm going to adjudicate that is not going to be possible. But here's what I will say. If Alessandra really wants to, she could probably take a couple rounds to hack a piece off of it, just as a as a memento, or as to be able to fashion into a club of her own.
No, she's gonna let it go. It's an all or nothing type of thing.
Got it. Yeah, I dig Alessandra's vibe. So Sloppy, what are you doing?
So seeing that LBJ is pushing us to our maximum potential, originally I was thinking, he abandoned us again. Maybe it's time for new leadership in this new black armored person. But you know what? LBJ, he is pushing us to our full potential. So I'm going to ride it out still. And I'm feeling okay. But I lean to Ethan and I say, you were sweating there for a minute, buddy. Are you okay?
So I'm actually not going to answer him. I'm just going to cut the nose off of the creature, and I'm going to make my way up to LBJ. I'll give him like a look, and like a very stern. No, I'm going to give Sherman a very stern look, and I'm just going to tell him, I can't always be there to protect you, and then I'm just going to walk away.
The nose itself, by the way, as you're cutting off the nose. The nose on this creature is the size of your fist, right? Like maybe the size of your fist and a half, sort of balled up.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just I'll use my sword.
The noses in weight. We're getting paid based on the noses in quantity, not quality.
So like you guys have a thing for noses? Is that like a hobby?
It's in the contract. We burned a
don't
couple of them.
Don't you remember, Astrid? You were there, weren't you?
What kind of contract?
You collect noses, you get paid.
Oh, you guys are getting paid for this?
Yeah, like 15 gold a nose or something.
Man, here I am just out here doing this for fun.
Well, you should have collected noses. You could have, thrown it in the pot.
I mean, clearly.
Look, if LBJ abandons us again, I vote you're our new leader, so.
I vote she's the leader, too.
What do you say, Ethan?
I just mutter under my breath that I need new friends.
Aaron agrees, right, Aaron?
Yeah. Doesn't Ethan? Okay, and just point of clarification here: doesn't Ethan have hopes and dreams of becoming a paladin one day?
Yeah, those are slowly, and by slowly I mean rapidly slipping away,
deteriorating before his eyes.
That creature came with us, man.
I mean, I feel like my character will be a fallen paladin before being a paladin.
Yeah, we should be in charge now.
So you are sort of standing around, with the exception of Aaron, right? Who kind of broke for the woods and he didn't really know what to do. Saw LBJ go up along the crest, and Aaron's just kind of standing there, cowering. You're standing amidst really the muck, the mire, and the murderous mayhem that the remnants have caused within the valley floor here. You've just essentially mutilated the corpse of this ogre and removed his nose. There are multiple bodies, burnt bodies of kobolds laying around that were felled, but also suffered, damage after the fact from the firebomb that was thrown out of the cave mouth. It is still eerily quiet, other than sort of that moaning, almost solemn mourning cry that went up as the creature fell. You now hear nothing. But the atmosphere feels oppressive. What I'll say is you feel as if many, many eyes are upon you now.
At least that drum's not going.
Yeah, the drums are stopped. The drums stopped when the 9-foot tall creature fell.
I hate 3/4 time.
Oh man. Okay. What time of day is it?
it's-
I mean,
it's night. It is not day.
Oh,
right.
okay.
You reached the mouth of the ravine. It was dusk. Done with the sun was basically dimming. It was going down. It's setting just along the horizon. It is now full on dark, which is why the fires are becoming more and more apparent in the cave mouth. The darker it gets, you can see sort of the brightness that comes out of these cave mouths. And you notice that it appears there are many, many more cave mouths than you had initially thought. In other words, you're seeing flickering fires coming through some bush and some trees that were initially hidden, but it almost appears as if you are surrounded on all sides with cave mouths that are sort of glowing with light.
okay, so it's starting to get kind of late. Maybe we should figure out what we're gonna do for the night.
Could always bed down in a cave.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea now that they all know we're right here. Yeah, I would say
That's what LBJ heard in his head from it. No, I'm kidding. Like Astrid would never suggest that.
see, I would say I like that original idea of falling back for at least the night. Let's see if we can find a safe spot, no fire, and just try to lay low and sleep for the night with a good watch. Maybe half of us keep watch. Maybe Aaron keeps watch. I don't know.
He needs to get his spell back. I'll take first watch.
Well, why don't actually you get some rest too? Why don't you let me take first watch?
I'll take second watch.
I'll take third then.
And when
That
I'm
should
on
do
watch,
it.
I'm gonna stay up in a tree.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys are falling back. You're leaving sort of the canyon floor.
Yeah, for at least
and
a
melding
mile.
back
Yeah.
into the woods.
I think we would have to go quite a ways
Yeah.
just to make sure,
Nothing.
nobody's
Do
following us or anything like that.
Do any of you have infravision or no? Infravision is sort of the back.
We would
version
use a
of dark
torch.
vision.
We would use a torch to lead.
No, we
and
would
then
have to
put the
use-
torch out.
I think we're all human because we're like fighters, clerics.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we're
you
gonna-
will need a torch.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna have to keep some sort of light going at night, but it could be really, really minimal and really small.
Okay, so you start heading back. Are you heading back in the direction that you came, or are you continuing to head east along the road? In other words, you came off the road along this path, about 120
I don't think we'd
yards.
stick to the path. I think we would, right? We would probably try to stay off the path, if anything, so we're not
Yeah,
easily
but-
found.
Wouldn't we go back from the direction that we came, knowing that, probably better that way than forward into an unknown area?
I'll trust you to come up with something, and I'll just follow along.
Well, Alessandra didn't see anything on the road on her way here. Well, there was only a couple of them, so it wasn't too bad.
All right, so are you sticking to the path or are you not?
I say we don't. We
Yeah.
move off the path
Okay.
and through the woods until we can find a suitable place.
And approximately how long are you going to travel for?
45 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, 45 to an hour.
Yeah, because that would be a few miles
Okay.
out.
So you travel you're traveling off the path, and it is hard going, right? This is dense. This is absolutely dense forest. You're almost having to hack your way through at points, and you hear all around you the sounds of wildlife, various, assorted wildlife. You can hear owls sort of calling out, some footsteps off to the, your right and left as you're traveling along. But you make it to a clearing, what you would almost, I guess, what could be construed as a clearing, but it is certainly not, it is not inviting, unmolested, right? Like, so you find a spot where you could reasonably set up camp. The thing is, though, right, you are not necessarily sure whether, you're kind of lost at this point. Like, you've happened upon this clearing, but you have no idea where the road is. You have a general idea of which way back to the caves, but the woods are so dense and dark and deep, you kind of have no sense of direction, specifically because you don't really have view of the sky anymore. The canopy of the trees is so heavy and thick that you don't have any sort of landmark with which to guide you. You've left the path. You don't know north from south, from east, from west. And in fact, you are pretty much lost at this point.
So you're saying we defeated the Caves of Chaos?
That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you lived.
Next adventure.
Some of you lived. Some of you lived to fight another day. But yeah, no. I don't. Yeah, sure. We can call it a win. We can say you've defeated the Caves of Chaos. Sure. You only have one nose to show for it. You didn't even grab the kobold noses.
That was LBJ's job.
Yeah,
he's got the bag.
So I'm assuming that you're going to make camp. You're going to make a fire, or are you not going to make a fire?
No. No, we're literally
Okay.
just going to put the torch out. Not even make a camp. It's literally just sleep.
And who's standing watch at this point?
Alessandra first.
I said I'd go first.
Then me, and then Ethan.
Okay. So Alessandra, your watch goes, you hear the sounds of the forest all around you. And it's quite loud, actually. But there's, other than being sort of ravaged by bugs, and the sounds of animals all around you, your watch passes fairly uneventfully.
Perfect. So I get to the end of my watch and kind of go over there, kick Sherman a few times, and then lay down, go to sleep.
Yeah, I will sit up, wake up, and I'll just hang out around where everyone's sleeping and just, like I said, just sit there, seeing if I observe anything crazy.
Okay, Sherman. So you take your watch. You're about 45 minutes or an hour into your first watch. When you begin to hear, and again, the sound of the forest around you is loud. It's alive. The bugs are practically eating you alive. Just mosquitoes are swarming. There's no fire or smoke to keep them away. So you're, really slapping mosquitoes away as you hear all. But you distinctly hear, after about 45 minutes to an hour, what sounds like footsteps. So not the sounds of forest creatures, but clearly footsteps. Almost surrounding you.
Like sound like two set?
You can hear them on all sides. No, it sounds like multiple sets. Like you hear sticks cracking and leaves,
So like
and the faint sound of like yips or clicking sounds.
Not like the dog creatures?
A bit like the dog creatures, yeah.
Okay,
sort of
I'll
a yipping
nudge.
sound.
Since I'm sitting in between everyone sleeping, I will nudge Ethan, LBJ, and Rosalind right away.
Okay.
And as I'm doing it, I'll just be like, shh, as quietly as I can.
Okay, so as you're nudging them, so they failed in terms of surprise. I'm going to call for an initiative roll at this point. So as you're nudging them, you can't see anything. You have your torches out. You don't have infravision, and it is completely black. You don't know whether these things have infravision or not, but they appear to be moving around quite well in the darkness. You can hear the sort of, it sounds like an organized attack. So I'm going to ask for an initiative roll.
Yeah, I got an 8 maximum.
How did you get an 8?
6 plus 2.
Jesus.
My dex is 16.
That's a 2. Okay, so you have the initiative. You hear these things all around you. You don't see anything. So I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, what would you guys? What does Sloppy do?
I would light my torch.
Okay.
And probably set it down. No, I would light the torch and pull out my bastard sword.
Okay. So Sloppy lights his torch and pulls out his bastard sword. LBJ, what are you doing?
We're so screwed.
I really gotta pee.
Running.
Is there a way to hide in the shadows? But we're in an open field, right? Or something?
No, you're in dense forest, right? Like you're in somewhat of a clearing, but there's still dense forest, all around you. It's not inviting. It's, in terms of a clearing, it's less dense than the rest of it, but you're still, you can easily hide in shadows at this point.
Okay, I'll draw my sword and slip into the shadows.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna say. I am going to adjudicate it at this point that, like, normally I would make you roll, right? But because it is so dark, I am actually going to make you roll for hide in shadows, which I believe would be 15% at this point. Yep. But we're going to give you a 25% bonus to that roll. Okay. And the only reason that you're rolling at all is because, again, not to metagame, they can't see in the dark, right? So
that would be 29.
Okay. So I gave you 25. So you are hidden. You are successfully hidden in the shadows. LBJ, you guys see LBJ draw his sword and sort of kind of disappear into the dense wood. So Ethan, and we'll have you go last, Alessandra and Aaron, because you're going to act for 2. So Ethan, what are you doing?
So I would have, as soon as I was nudged, I would have gotten my sword and shield ready. Do I see any of them?
So
with the torch being lit now?
Yeah, even with the torch being lit, you can hear movement. It's almost movement all around you. You don't really see anything. Within, the torch light, which I believe is 40 feet. 25. Yeah. So you don't see anything within the area that is illuminated, other than just forest, dense forest, and shadows being cast all around, sort of playing off of the torchlight as the torchlight dances. So it's sort of playing tricks on your eyes anyway. Yeah.
I'll get back to back with Sherman and just sort of cover him.
Okay. And now Aaron and Alessandra, what are you both doing?
So, I mean, I know that we have the one torch lit. Would it be helpful for us to light another torch, or is it just a moot point with how you roll lighting?
So here's what we'll say. Lighting another torch certainly couldn't hurt. it may not expand. It may not expand necessarily the distance with which you can see, but the area that you're in would be exponentially brighter and better. So if you lit another torch and you were going to have a melee attack within range, of this clearing, we would say there would be no negative to this whatsoever. Whereas you would probably, you're going to take a negative if not, right? So
okay, so Aaron is going to light a torch, and he's gonna kind of back up a little bit where Ethan and Sherman are sort of standing back to back. He'll kind of join in that as well. Alessandra will grab her shield and her sword, and she will join them too. So they're all just 4 of them kind of like standing back to back, ready to go, with Sherman and Aaron having torches lit.
Okay, so that is player's turn is complete. You see, so Ethan and Sherman, or Ethan and Sloppy, are standing back to back in the center. Aaron has just bent down to light a torch. Alessandra is at the ready, and LBJ has sort of disappeared into the tree line. All of you see, rushing in on all sides as if encircled, 14 of these dog-like creatures rushing in. Basically, they've formed almost like they've formed a line, and it's a closing circle coming in all around you. And that's where we'll end for this session, and we'll pick this up again.
I just told Paul, I said, this sounds like it would have been a perfect chance for a cliffhanger. I thought we were going to settle combat first, but no. Damn you. Damn you.
We are so screwed, 14.
Yeah, we are going to need that XP.
Kobolds make up in numbers what they lack in strength. Yes, right.
Because there's a chance I could level and get more hit points before Tuesday when we play again.
I don't think it's going to help me. Watch me lose another character.
I just want to say again, I don't think you guys just aren't used to my DM style. When I warn you, when I give you, so here's when I ask you.
I picked up on a lot of
warnings. Are you sure you don't want to stay on the path? Yeah. Are you sure you don't want, I tried, right? I really did. Think of that as, when the DM asks you, are you sure you want to do that? Like, that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to say, are you sure you want to do that?
I think we picked up on, I don't think
so. There is a getting
sense from a character standpoint.
No, I agree, and that's fantastic. It's an awesome cliffhanger. There is a getting lost mechanic, right, within this rule set, and so you guys are you are completely lost. You're not only are you completely lost, you don't have infravision, and these creatures do, right? Like, so kobolds do, not to metagame again, but they do have infravision, and again, they make up for lack of brute force with cunning and strength, right? Like or cunning and numbers. That's kind of their jam. So it's going to be an interesting next session. I'm excited.
I hope I level. I don't think I'm going to, but I hope.
I'm gonna die probably. I'll be on my 4th character in 4 sessions.
I'm like 478 points away. So if we got like 479, I'm just saying that'd be amazing.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't know, right? Like, you really haven't collected any treasure, but you haven't collected any treasure or magic items this session, but you did, you downed an ogre and you downed a bunch of kobolds. So we'll see. An ogre. But keep in mind now, we're splitting it. We're splitting it by 5, right? Aaron he gets the full share.
Creatures aren't worth a lot compared to what treasure is in these older D&D games.
Well, especially lower hit dice. Although I will say the ogre he's not mediocre hit dice. He's pretty decent. So we'll see what it goes. But I'm gonna just call it right now. I don't know that Sherman will be able to. On it. Yeah,
that's why I'm dropping subtle hints of the 479 or whatever would be great.
Sure.
Just get advance on those XPs.
As a player, when I say XP, What I'm asking for is a level up. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So
No, that was fun.
I guess I hope everybody watching the stream is not super mad at me for killing Roz. I still
don't
think
care.
that I think Astrid hurt way more than Roz did. Like, I feel like we only got to know Roz for like an hour or so. But I get good vibes from Alessandra. I think that she's going to make a great addition to the Remnants, and I can't wait to see what you guys get into
That
next
black
week.
armor.
So if you are watching the stream and you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, because you should come back and see. You should come back and see what happens to the Remnants. This is a good group. We got a good feeling about them. So, as 14 kobolds descend upon them in the midst of the woods and their half
TPK.
lines, it's great. Yeah,
Bill's trying to end the campaign like first 10 minutes of next session.
Yeah, it could be a short one.
14's a lot. That's a lot of hits. I don't think we can handle.
It's probably going to be like 4 character deaths, and then we roll out new characters. That'll be what the next session is.
It's a session 0.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. This is Master of the Game. I'm Juice. Game on.